Hello, everyone. I'm Plasma Warriors, and you like to call me that guy with the afro, with an even more messy background than before. But you get to see more of my face, so that's the trade-off. I wasn't going to make a video today, but when I heard about this, I immediately thought I might as well go ahead. And let me start off. This kind of plays into yesterday's cons don't pay for themselves, careful of your first year convention, ooh, kind of thing. But I found out through my hentai blogosphere, particularly from Hentai HQ, that there are people organizing a HentaiCon other than the one that I was involved with. If you don't know what I mean, look up the Geeks 5 Ever podcast on YouTube and find it. That is going to be supposedly running in November in Burbank, California. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I have no ill will toward anyone trying to build another convention other than what I'm doing. I do have issues with certain people screwing me over. Certain Japan. But generally speaking, this is a first year convention that looks like I mean, let me start off with the good news. The good news is they've got a hotel. They've got a location already in place. They've got somewhere to be today. I mean, it's not happening today, but they've got that. And that should be your number one goal whenever you try to get a convention. Have your venue, in my opinion. But we'll get to those notices later on. I was actually going to do that tomorrow. I might do that Thursday now because, well, I wasn't expecting to do a video today. Who knows? I might still do it tomorrow. I might be doing something else tomorrow. I'm not gonna say yet. But to the point, they have a location, they have a hotel, it's in Burbank, California. They seem to have at least some people registered as guests. They seem to have a cosplayer who's I don't know who the cosplay community. So don't come to me and say, "Oh, well, this is a cosplayer that's really famous." I wouldn't know. I'm a gamer, but apparently they're doing a gender bent Cindy from Final Fantasy 15, and I kind of see where it's going. And they've also got Faku signed up for something. I don't know if they're actually going to be doing representation or guests. I'm sorry, my voice is a little scratchy. My throat might be a little dry, but generally speaking, with Faku in the game, that might help a little bit. But in the same instance, it's Faku. It's not like I can see a bunch of hentai magna. It's not like Media Blasters or something like that, where you're gonna have. I hate to say it, in magna it's very easy to pull up nowadays. So Faku, I hate to tell you this, isn't the go-to kind of group. That and it got a game that's severely overpriced, in my opinion. It's a Japanese game by Illusion. I like their games, but I'm not paying $50, $60 for a hentai game. I'm sorry, just not. I mean, I'm not going to even talk about the fan translations or all that. That's something totally different. But generally speaking, for name with a meh reputation. So let's start there. Now, here's the bad news. I don't know any of the staff. I don't even know their names. I don't know if I can look them up and say, this guy's this, or this guy has a reputation of that. This guy's coming out there. There's been little media at all about these people. So I don't know if you're going to have hundreds of people or thousands of people. They're trying to their starting base price is based on who pays for it, and it's the first 350 people. And I'm kind of thinking, I don't know if you want to give it a exact number, because right now their Facebook page has about 600, 550, 600 people liking it. That doesn't translate well to actual sales. I know that firsthand as well. I like a few places that I've never been to because, well, I'm one guy with a webcam in his own bedroom. Kind of like the Martin Dice of conventions. Go figure. I'm not getting political. Back to the point. It's in November, which is not a good time for conventions, especially those that are in the north. But thankfully, this is in California, so it might not be too bad. But by this point, I'm not really in the con mood unless it's OniCon, and that's the only convention I'll ever go past, say, September. Hint to another convention. But also, I think the biggest problem is that it's such short notice. As of this moment, you basically have 3 months before the convention's supposed to take place. 3 months is not a lot of time. You need to get a good set of guests. You need to get gaming operational. You need to have your security in place. You have to standardize rules, because this isn't your general convention where everyone is focused on one cosplay element. This is a hentai convention. You can have cosplaying from who knows what. So that's a very big point. And as a moment of where we're in a point where we need to deal with harassment, this announcement couldn't really be at a worse time, honestly. I've already had to deal with it with Momo-kun, and in Houston, we still deal with it with Anime Matsuri. So I'm not sure that's a good time to announce this. This is too early, close to the fact that we have issues, to really say, we're going to have a hentai convention. Haha, you get to do this, you get to do that. I'm a little worried about that. I mean, I know there's Volacon in Atlanta. I'm not able to make that one. That does about the same thing. But in the same instance, there's structured rules practically everywhere. I'm not seeing any rules on that. So before I totally withhold judgment, I want to talk to the people running the HentaiCon here and see what they're doing. Now, first year conventions can get messy. First year conventions can be really, really bad, really, really quickly. And personally, I'm not really sure. You want to get my take on it? Would I go right now? The question is, what benefit does it have? I mean, in this case, it's not, oh, it's going to be a hentai convention. It's going to be so great. I don't know what it's going to be like. It's a first year con. It's not like, oh, it's got an established reputation. It's got people who do this, who do that. I know so little about the organization point that I'm not too sure I would do it. I mean, the price seems right at $40 to $50, $50 at the door. Location is okay. It's not too far, I think, from the 818 area code. I don't know. I'm out of California. Somebody might want to explain that to me, but I don't know enough to really give it my recommendation. Now, I will say I'm willing to help the convention, but at this point, it's just too soon and not enough knowledge for me to go ahead and say, sure, absolutely. In this event, I want to talk to the convention before I withhold as much judgment. I'm not saying don't go. I'm not saying go ahead and do it. I'm saying I'd rather talk to the people before I make a final decision, because right now, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I mean, to be honest with you, conventions are not easy to pull off, especially first years. And this narrow of a time window, they've got to have some people really good at this. And I don't know that yet. So if you want my humble opinion, the answer is, you know, if you're going to ask me today, the answer is going to be, I don't know. If you're going to ask me next month and I get no information, I get no details, then it's just too soon for me to go ahead and do it. I would say, no big deal. I know it's a wrinkled shirt. Ugh, we got to fix that. But anyway, I just feel like this has a chance, but it's a very long shot right now. It really is. Should you do it in year one, announce it, and then not have the backing? I mean, that's one of the points. You got to get your location, then you got to have your backing, and I don't see enough of a backing for it yet. Don't know. I mean, maybe the Hentai HQ article did bump up numbers, but let me go ahead and just check that with my own eyes, see what it is right now of how many people like this. 535. That's not very many people, honestly. That's a very small amount of people. Um, Link in the description below, by the way, to the Facebook site. Maybe they'll got more on Instagram and Twitter and all that, but I don't know. But one thing I will say is if you really want to do this, you need to do three things right now. One, show us who's in charge. Give us some kind of personality. Who is in front? Because that's one of the mistakes we had to make with the con head of the one I was part of. Didn't really bring himself out there. There was no face of the convention. There was no person who wanted to run this or out there in the open. I think that's a dangerous point here. Is that I don't see. I see even less of that here. Actually, no. I actually talked to the person who was running the one for Las Vegas, and nobody seemed to really get more than that. I was more of a go-in-between. That's fair enough. I can say that. I was more upfront about it. I would like to be more upfront about this one. That's fine. Number two, you've got to have some kind of rule set in place. You've got to make it where you can't touch this, you can't do that, you can't have this with you, this can't be a prop. You've got to come up really, really right now. I don't mean write them as you go. Come up with some rules today to curb the harassment issue that we've already been dealing with in the last year and a half. You've got to fix that, especially from somebody who's had to deal with that firsthand at other conventions in this state, particularly in Houston. You've got to fix this immediately. There's got to be no question about it. Number three, you've got to have somebody that will make people go to this convention. You can't just say, oh, we got a HentaiCon. Woohoo! Yeah, but what are you going to do about it? Who's going to be that face of this convention? Not just the organizers. I'm talking about the guest list. Who's going to be the superstar? Is there going to be a hentai artist? Is there going to be somebody who is been maybe a cosplayer who does nude cosplaying? I can recommend somebody, but who's going to be the drawing effect? What's going to be the reason why I'm going to go? Not just who organizes it, who wants to show up so we can meet them. Honestly, like I said, I don't know. But hopefully, I'll find out some answers. I'm not going to hold judgment yet. I'm not going to say yes or no. I mean, just being, I don't know, might just seem more like maybe you can, maybe you can't. But generally, we'll see. Okay, I mean, it's going to be really hard to pull off first year. It's going to be very difficult. And I don't know, as a possibility, but I'll say it like this. If it works, it's going to be amazing. I'll say it. It's going to be amazing. At least they're not like some other conventions that I talked about yesterday and just automatically everything pays for itself. But if they don't pull it off, it's going to be another cautionary tale about first-year conventions and what you're not supposed to do. I mean, time will tell, and hopefully by the time I get back from DragonCon, I'll have more information. I'll be able to share it with you. But right